Okay, good morning, everybody. We are playing some more Bant Collect Company. I'm playing an RCQ tomorrow. Want to get a little bit of refreshment for the deck, and I know a lot of people are interested in seeing some more of the deck in action too. The card got a very interesting new edition spoiled yesterday. Eighth or something. I'd say it's the new mana war draw card. You bounce a permanent, make a fairy or make a bird. Just kind of fits so perfectly in this deck with Coco, Soulherder, Ephemerate. Very, very excited for that one. So we're thinking the new card from Dominic goes here. We're replacing. Yeah. So my current thinking is that you can cut both endurances and both deputies for just 4 of that card. I do think that you could maybe go down a wall and up a 3-drop. I don't think that you can cut any Glasspool mimics. I think that you need to keep these in as lands. But I think 2 endurance. I think the 2 deputies are pretty easy cuts because like these cards give you interaction for your opponent's creatures with the bounce. I've also been thinking a little bit more that the endurances are like not as necessary now that we have extra sideboard cards for the Living End matchup of the sideboard, and the Murktide matchup is just super duper good. The long con, and it's just like he's just done a complete 180. And I remember when he tweeted that Fable is better than Seasoned Pyromancer in Modern. People were like, "Yeah, that's true." I've never seen the Magic community just be like, "Yeah, that's true." On like a card evaluation before with like just almost no disagreement. You know what I mean? They're just like, yeah, I agree. Everybody was just immediately down in a way I've never seen before. It's just, I don't know. I thought it was funny. I think the tweet is saying decks are a bit poorly because Fable looks like History of Banality in the decks. You know what? I think you're right, actually. I thought that he was saying it's been playing like a bad History of Benalia, but in their decks it is because it has no synergy. That makes some sense. Cabal, thank you for the 8 months. Appreciate you. Ooh, I was worried we're playing against Oopsal spells, but we're just playing against some scam deck, I think. Woo! You ever prismatic ending? You ever prismatic ending a wall? Down bad, huh? Thank you for the 5-pack, Donok. If you got a gifted 5 from Donok, make sure to thank them. Appreciate you. You ever just get your wall prismatic ending? And you're like, man, I hate Modern Horizons 2 cards. Okay, opponent's getting a Cauldra. I think I want to Solitude the Germ token instead of Solituding the Stoneforge Mystic, since if my opponent has an Ephemerate, they get to Ephemerate for so much value here. Yeah. No, I agree with. I didn't realize what he was saying. I didn't realize he was saying that Fable with no synergy is not good, which is a point I absolutely agree with. I'm not sure like what specific deck he's pointing to, but I agree with the point. I thought he was just saying he didn't think Fable was very good in Pioneer, which is like, I I disagree. I think Fable is really strong in Pioneer, but I could definitely like, if you change your card evaluation over 8 months, that's fine. I just my main point with that Ari tweet is that you see so many like hot takes like this on Twitter daily about card evaluations. You know what I mean? You just see so many like, seething takes. Some I agree with, some I don't disagree with. But I feel like the general community as a whole doesn't like agree with like most hot takes posted to Twitter. You know what I mean? Or most takes like this. Fable is better than Seasoned Pyromancer. But with this one, I just felt like everybody was like, yep, I think that's true. Yeah. Alright, exiling the wall. They pitched another copy of Stoneforge. Let's thin so that our company's hit a little bit better, huh? Although maybe I'll save this one to get another white source, I'm not sure yet. Soulherder, Ice-Fang. Why do I play in Surgical? We got Surgical earlier today. Oh, what a draw. I'll take Torpor. We are 1-0. We are 1-0 against Torpor today. We're undefeated against Torpor today. We just turned our creature sideways. Okay, this is fine. So this turn I'm gonna go Eternal Witness, hold up Ephemerate, or yeah, I think so. Alright. Managed to outvalue the sewer deck. First time for everything. Ari's original tweet said 30-40% Spara deck should look at Fable instead. Really? Oh man, I totally misremembered. Really? I thought for sure it was way more polarizing than that. I'm sorry, Ari. I don't know. Really? Maybe it just felt like it did because I kept getting asked about it every day. Okay, I don't have a sewer sideboard played. Let me figure this out. I think I want 4th Solitude. I don't think I want 2nd Endurance. This is 26 hits. I kind of want to cut a Time Warp though. 3rd Deputy is fine. Not great, but fine. I'm pretty sure 34% Season Power Magic Smash should pick Kisag instead. Yeah, I know you're totally right. Maybe it just felt this way because people just like constantly asked me about it and said that they thought Fable was better. One of them at Mandela effects. It's hard matchup to mulligan in. We're on the draw. Just any one land makes his hand good or Hierarch surviving. I think this is fine. I really like Ari though. I've played against him in paper a couple times. My first ever Pro Tour I ever played in, he was we were both 2-0. He was my final opponent in the pod. And his deck was insane. His deck was like blue-white rares. I think he had 6 on-color rares. And I had a pretty good green-black counters deck, but his power level was just way higher. But I made an attack. I had the 1 mana +2/+2 spell in my hand that had some counter synergy. I can't remember the name of the card. And I had 1 forest up with 1 card in my hand. And he's like, "There's no way you have it." And then I killed him with it. It was awesome. And but he was really nice. He was like, I went to that tournament by myself. I didn't know almost anybody there. I knew a couple people barely. I was staying in a hotel room by myself, and he was really nice to me all weekend. Always asked me how I was doing in the tournament and stuff. I'll always appreciate that, Ari. Thank you, Whiskey, for the 4 months. Appreciate you. Got some leg with the 3 months. Appreciate you as well. Welcome back. I played him against him before, an SCG Open. He was playing Restore Balance, and I was playing Just Kainahiri, I think. What's the reason for cutting Oof in the latest list? Oof was kind of largely in there as a combination Hammer Time Tron sideboard card. I think that the Hammer Time matchup is really good. You don't need the Oof as much, and we have more sideboard cards for the Tron matchup with the silences. It's a different world over there in the sewer, huh? Different world in the sewer. -1 night, -1 day is +2 silence. Yeah, I just wanted more sideboard cards for Living in and Tron because those matchups are pretty tough. They're naming Ephemerate, okay. Because those matchups are pretty tough. Not really too deep. I get a zombie. And then also like the Murktide matchup is pretty good. So I thought that like the fourth endurance was nice because Murktide's really popular, and Murktide is really popular, but the matchup's like has been pretty stellar so far. So I just don't think you need the fourth one. I think you have like the extra silence for like the living in matchup too, and I'd rather be trying to fight them with silence than with endurance anyways. Was it PT from Amaket PT? Curious if it was Shred Weakness. I think it was Hour of Devastation. It was the PT where Andrew Cuneo broke the limited format with Slitherhead, and I don't think I've ever seen this happen at a tournament before, where one Pro Tour has an incredibly like unique and interesting approach to the limited format, and overnight between day 1 and day 2, all the pro players are like trying to pivot and learn the strategy that night. It was crazy. Oh, sorry, not Slitherhead. Slitherblade. It was Amonkhet. Okay, it was that PT. It was Nashville. Oh, you know why I think it was or I thought it was Hour of Devastation is because they gave me a foil set of Hour of Devastation at the 25th anniversary Pro Tour, but that was a different tournament. They gave every Pro Tour competitor a foil set at random. It was awesome. That tournament was so amazing. The prizes of that tournament were insane. Like the value was just through the roof, and they really took care of everybody. They really took care of everybody at that tournament. How did Slitherblade break the limited format? I can't remember the exact dynamics, but it was just like you could put a lot of cartouches on it, a lot of cheap like ways to buff it, and there just like wasn't a lot of good removal that lined up well against it. And I think was the dynamic. And even if the removal did line up well against it, like a lot of your cartouches cantripped or got you value, you know, and the removal was clunky. Yeah, sounds about right. I'm not sure if I have all the details right, but that's like kind of loosely what I remember. And I just remember like Rick Hagan interviewing Cuneo and him talking about it, and he was just like, I don't know, it was just really cool to see how like I've never seen anybody break a limited format and understand a drafting strategy that like nearly no other pro tour or pro player had on their radar. It was just really cool to see. And I also remember I mean I don't think Cuneo really plays the game anymore, but he was like really hyped that I think his team did really well at that tournament. It was just very emotional. It was a good weekend. And I was just there, you know, fanboying, first pro tour. Don't know anybody. But I also did really I did pretty well day 1. I started off 6-1. I started off 6-1 and damn, huh? I started off 6-1 and I needed to find either an Ulamog or an Elder Deep Fiend off my Aetherworks Marvel in like the top like 21 cards, and I didn't. I lost. And then I ended up cashing pretty well. I missed like I did what I did at every single Pro Tour I've ever done. Really good day 1 into mediocre day 2, missed the next Pro Tour by 1 round. I've done that at all 4 Pro Tours I've played. I've had that exact result. So I'm very consistent. Can Soulherder Solitude? Not sure exactly what that's the response to. I'm just gonna win the game real quick. He also plays YouTube shows. Goes, yeah, I thought he was playing a lot of poker now. I think I follow him on Twitter. I always really like Cuneo. Let's mulligan this. Go to 5. I kind of want to keep the time warp. I don't know why my gut is telling me to just put back Ice-Fang, put back Endurance, keep the Time Warp. What desk am I using? It's the IKEA standing desk. I don't know which one. I like it a lot though. Did anybody just hear like a really weird sound? You think the Grixis Scam deck was good? I liked it. I wanted to return to it later this week. I wanted to play this for some practice though. We heard that? I don't know what that was. I had my headphones on, so it was like kind of muffled. Is that like a phone ring? Yeah, it just sounded weird. I don't know if anyone. Oh, okay. Well, my gut told me wrong. Yeah, can anybody? Does anyone have a clip? Okay, maybe ask Esther. I think it was me using the HelloFresh code. Well, thank you for using the HelloFresh code. I don't think that was it though. Yeah, it sounded like a whale. Yeah, it sounded really weird. Let me ask Esther. So Esther says she didn't hear the sound. That's kind of scary. Pretty sure it was the code. Does anybody have a clip? Because I don't. Maybe someone can use the code again, huh? No, it should have been MTGO sound. They're all disabled. Thank you, Doc. It's the IKEA standing desk. I don't know which one. I like it a lot though. No, the number didn't go up. I like it a lot though. It goes up to 12, but it doesn't go up to 12 immediately. You would think that if it was the code that's doing that, it's gonna go up to 12 immediately, right? Yeah, it sounds super ominous too. Like, you know, what's also like, I don't know, I'm not trying to like, I'm sure it's not a big deal, whatever it is, but Esther also didn't hear it, which is weird to me. Yeah, it's just a elaborate marketing ploys for people to test the code. Okay, they have a Snoop combo. They do have the Snoop combo. I have no outs off this draw, and I have white card in my hand. Tough. People practicing goblins with the new cards coming out. I'm going to bring in the 4th Solitude, the Forge-Tenders, 3rd Deputy of Detention, cutting the Endurances, and then I think I usually stay at like 2 Time Warps in this matchup. Right now I'm at 28 hits for, or 20, yeah, 28 hits for company. So I can maybe go down to 26 if I cut 2 walls. Let's just go down to 1 Time Warp. I think that we can try to win the game by like controlling the board instead of Time Warp comboing. I like it a lot though. I like it a lot though. I like it a lot though. Don't you have Meddling Mages for Snoop? No, they can violence Snoop. Meddling Mage is not good against it. You might just hear like a really weird. Okay, it does go to 12, but it doesn't go immediately. But maybe it is the HelloFresh. If I was in charge of choosing a HelloFresh sound, though, I wouldn't choose one that's like as terrifying as that one. I would choose one that's maybe like, da-ding, 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 welcome to HelloFresh. I would choose something less terrifying. Dude, we've got Deputy of Detention in our deck. The sound of snapped broccoli. That is an impeccable suggestion for the welcome to HelloFresh sound. Magnificent. I'm gonna steal it and tell HelloFresh. Just kidding. Munitions expert, which I can Forge-Tender to save my Hierarch. I guess I should probably Ice-Fang, just see if I wanna... If there's anything that would make me not wanna save it, but I probably will. I would not recommend sideboarding Leyland against Bant's company, especially with a hyper synergistic deck like Goblins. I don't think this is a correct sideboard plan. Alright, let's establish the herder here. They have second expert, not the end of the world. Got the cantrip. But it might have brought in Blood Moon against me, but I think with the Hierarch and the ability to get an island here, I should be fine. Okay. My kingdom for a Forge-Tender, I guess. The Prime, take it 3 months, appreciate you. You would have thought yesterday, though, we would have, if that is the HelloFresh sound, we would have heard it because 11 people used it yesterday. Oh, if only anybody could use the HelloFresh code to find out for sure. If only. Did I have, no, oh, I did have sounds off yesterday. Yeah, you're probably right. That's got to be it. If I ever go in Spike in League, I'm gonna type yo-yo GLH before he does. Yeah, a few people have done that. I want a button that just types yo-yo GLHF in chat. Just one click. I thought it was HelloFresh for the longest time. Someone said that yesterday. I think that would be a good rebrand. Juicy, 12 months, appreciate ya. I mean, this is still like a mostly online company. Like, you could definitely like do like rebrands for marketing purposes pretty easy, right? Set up a keyboard shortcut. Yeah, I might look into it. We'll see. We'll see. Be fun. Auto hotkey. Yeah, one thing is like Magic Online doesn't let you bind any of your button or your mouse buttons to Magic Online because the client was made before that was a thing. Excuse me. But I would want to just bind a button on my mouse, but a keyboard would be fine too, I guess. Teensy tiny bit mana flooded, huh? Jennifer, 3 months, thank you. Sold out mouse software. Yeah, I'll take a look into it. I haven't never really seriously tried to. Got a pretty good Solitude this turn. You're gonna need to draw some stuff. Although opponent hasn't been doing anything the last couple turns. They should probably sack both all their goblins here. Otherwise, I get to just block 1, gain 3. Default skip turn is 6, not F6 like streamers always say. Yeah, it was F6 for the longest time. They've changed it like 5 years ago. Fury pitching Kiki Jiki. 1, 2 can kill my Solitude and my Ice-Fang. If you do the bind button, make sure there's a small type of the message so it's wrong every time. Just like my real messages. Ayo, thank you for 3 months. Appreciate ya. Welcome back. Oh, I thought I was yielded till end of turn. Not the biggest deal. Okay, I think it is HelloFresh, guys. Yeah, okay. It was HelloFresh. Thank you for ever tested that. I would really recommend that they switch the notification sound, though. That broccoli snapping, I thought was a good suggestion. All right, we're cantripping. But maybe we should do. Maybe we should get like a few more HelloFresh codes used just to test it and make sure, right? Let's just be sure. You know what? There's no point in half-assing this testing of the HelloFresh button. There's literally no harm in like 50 more people using the code. Okay, they got a munitions expert off the ringleader. Yeah, maybe the ghost is a really big fan of HelloFresh. There's a ghost on the walls. You guys ever move into a new place and you think there might be someone living in the walls of the attic? Yeah, I can deputy to unlock the ley lines. I have 3 of them in the deck. Yeah, me neither, by the way. Not me. Could maybe play a witness this turn, huh? I have all of them in our hand. Raptors, thank you for the 2 months. Appreciate you. Live in Saber some life, so I can't say I have. Yeah, me neither. That would be dumb. A dumb thing to think about. Deputy of Detention connects on both my ley lines, or their ley lines. I have 3 in the deck. We're 37 cards deep without seeing one. I'll find one, though. Don't worry. To be honest, I'm usually the one living in the walls. Fair enough. We also haven't seen... We've seen 1 Solitude, okay. But thankfully, my opponent's munitions expert can't even kill my Soulherder anymore. Does Soulherder trigger when your creatures die with Leyline? I think so. Yeah, they do. They do. Opponent has munitions expert and 3 mystery cards. 2 mystery cards. Could be a Kiki-Jiki. They pitched 1 earlier. Could be a Fury. Those would make a lot of sense here. What's nice is if it's Kiki-Jiki, if we can find a way to kill it, which we have a bunch of draws next turn. Oh, okay, this is fine. So probably kill both Hierarchs and a Witness. It's either that or 1 wall. Let's go. Let's go. So Sig, yeah, they can't trade with the herder still. By the time I find my deputy, though, there's not going to be anything to get back with Eternal Witness. There it is. Oh, so the Soulherder's 11-11. I don't need to Hierarch there at 11. Do I even have any fetchables left? I think I'm out. Yeah, I'm out. Yeah, maybe we should be playing more than more than 9 fetchables or 10 fetchables. It's not enough. There they are. They're shy. So they still have Munitions Expert. They still have 2 mystery cards. No, I slid it down to just 1 time warp. A lot of times you win this matchup by just like controlling the board with Solitude, Deputy of Detention. So they still have their Munitions Expert. So maybe they're going to expert my Deputy like right now. Would be fine. I wouldn't mind. So I guess they're going to Deputy the... or Munitions Expert my Deputy of Detention, end of turn. Oh, maybe I should have attacked with my Soulherder, because they could just block with the War Marshal, huh? Jump block with Fury, you'll love to see it. So let's Deputy the Mog War Marshal, and then, Deputy the Snoop, make the Munitions Expert the Deputy, and if they can find a Boggart Harbinger next turn, good for them, but I can also cantrip into either Solitude or Ephemerate to not lose to that, potentially. And then, you know, obviously it has to be underneath the hovel. But they haven't drawn one yet this game. No help. Could flicker the Deputy to token. The problem is they just do it after I get the Soulherder trigger. There's not like a window, right? Although I guess I could have exiled their other goblins so that they didn't have enough goblins to kill the Deputy. That could have been the line. You should never pay for Echo here, I think, right? I don't know, maybe. They're gonna cast their Snoop. I'll get to exile both of them by flickering this Deputy. Or I guess maybe witness back the Deputy first, huh? Looks like they weren't gonna find the combo. Hold on, let me. 14 cards in my library. It's plenty of cards. Too many cards, if you ask me. If anything, I'd like to have less. Yeah, they usually play 2 Kiki. I usually play 2 Kiki. Okay, going to game 3. I've tried Lagrella. I think Lagrella's worse than Deputy. I kind of want another Time Warp in the deck. Let's play one more Warp over a company. You know, there's a sideboard guide for the deck on Channel Fireball, but it definitely, like, is not one that you should be, like, rigidly adhering to. It's always a lot of, like, very flexible pivoting with the deck list. Obviously, it just takes time to understand everything. Sorry for the buzzes. I'm mulligan this. Keep this one. Putting back second Deputy, probably. Any ley lines? No ley lines. They might have boarded them back out. I don't know. No Vial either. When was the last time I played Burn in Modern? It's been a while. One of my best friends, who I played on the Team Pro Tour with, but he's kind of like left the game for poker. But he's been playing a lot of the like Dragon Rage's Channeler Burn deck that I liked to play back when Lurrus was legal. I'm not sure that I would recommend that version over traditional Burn now that Lurrus is banned, but he's still been liking it a lot. And so I've been like talking about the deck with him, but beyond that, I haven't really been doing anything with Burn. Why didn't you play as Xander's Lot and Grixis Scam? with so many 1-mana spells and your mana being really good because you're just black red and you're splashing blue for 2+ mana cards. I don't think that you need to play a Xander's Lounge. And you also have, I guess you only have 1 Maledict Rebirth, so you have less tap lands and other scam variants, but... you usually, like, in 3-color decks with tons and tons of 1-drops and that have good mana, I just don't play the Triumph. You're getting a Goblin Ringleader with their Harbinger on top of their library. How would I replace the Blackleaf Cliffs if I had to? I'm not sure. The problem is, it's like, you know, what do you have? You can play more Blood Crypts, you can play more fetch lands. Play Pathway, even. Yeah, more Blood Crypts is fine. Dude, their ringleaders have been a brickin'. Just a War Marshal. Maybe I will not miss Ringleader so much. I think I'm going to play 1 copy of Ringleader is my current plan. To just play 1 Ringleader as a tutor target. And then rely more on the new Lord for card advantage. Which I think was Horse Suit's suggestion from earlier this week. I thought it was pretty good. You know, you can't play Graven Cairn in your Expressive Iteration deck, I think. I'm a little bit short of comboing this turn. So this turn, I think I'm just supposed to go Hierarch, Witness back, Ephemerate, pass. Or I can attack. Need to see a Goblin Scam deck. That's the final form, I think. Okay, so 2 Crooks, 1 Dreadbore, 1 Kolaghan Screen, because they both pitch for Griff. That's fine. I like Terminate a lot more than Dreadbore in Modern. It's just like so much better against Murktide, Hammertime, Titan, but if you want to kill some Ren and 6s, more power to you. Oh, sorry, I was supposed to respond. 1. Oh no, Monk Fanatic doesn't break up the combo. It might look like it breaks up the combo, but I've got a plan. I'm going to attack. And then it breaks up the combo next turn. and then it breaks up the combo next turn. Still a pretty good turn though. So I get to rebound the Ephemerate too. Alright, teensy tiny flood. Nothing that a few pots and pans won't fix. When I fish attacking the Ephemerate, they're just gonna block. I guess I should have let the block, huh? Yeah, I could have killed the creature. Just too excited for my fun line, huh? It's a little short. I think we just get back another Eternal Witness, cast the Witness, get back Time Warp. I love Eternal Witness. It just feels good to be registering this card in Modern again. I've been playing against goblins a lot lately. It's been pretty cool. Good deck. Awesome for me. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying they've been playing the Cheese Touch deck and winning with it. I think I might audible to it tomorrow, just if I wake up feeling like playing it. But I'm gonna play this deck. I think like 99%, 98%, 80%. I just like I've been really itching to play the Cheese Touch deck is has been what a few Twitch chatters have been lobbying to call the Esper Aether Mage's Touch Reanimator deck, and because it's like cottage cheese touch, it's a little bit of a stretch, but it's starting to catch on. I really want to play that deck in paper. I've been like itching to play it in paper, but I need to be disciplined because like the Murktide matchup with that deck is just like it's like pretty close, and Murktide is so popular locally for me. And like this deck is really good against Murktide Hammer, which is just exactly what you want to play against. Okay, they need to find another Mog Fanatic, which they fail to do. They do find a Expert Snoop Matron, but we have infinite turns now. Although just one turn is enough with 2 Exalted Flying. Do you think your Rakdos Rock deck could still take on a tournament? I think it could, yeah. I think the Scam decks are good too. I mean, I think, you know, the Rakdos Scam decks have been doing really well lately. I've always done like pretty well with the Rakdos Rock deck. I think in general, that's somewhat evidence that Rakdos has been underplayed like the entire time post MH2. But I was playing that deck Splash Blue early this week. It felt pretty reasonable. I don't know if Dingo's tried it yet. Dingo's kind of like the scam, like the top of the pyramid. You know, the pyramid scheme. Oh, sorry. I should be solituding this. I guess I still can if they don't take it. Because they pitch Living End. If they didn't pitch Living End, I'm not solituding this. But like knowing that we're up against Living End, this puts them in like worse situations or worse situation. Living End is not a very good matchup game 1. It gets a lot better post board when you get to bring in Meddling Mages and Silences and more Endurances. Wasn't playing the Second Witness, playing into Fury. Yeah, I guess so. They already used 2 Furies up until that point. It wasn't something I was super worried about. Yeah, I'm not. We talk about the scam origins all the time. It's a mystery. It's a mystery. One of Modern's great mysteries. So no red mana. Is the reasoning we'll never have a better Solitude target? So the reasoning is that you usually want to get the Solitude in the graveyard, right, against the Living End, the Living End deck. So game one when you don't have like Silences and Meddling Mages to combat it, and it's really unlikely that you get to exile anything with that first trigger if you're just going to respond to a Living End. So you get to stop the Grief from being in the graveyard, and this is maybe like a little bit like under talked about in Modern, but like Grief like being able to come back and be like premium interaction while you Living End is just huge. You know what I mean? It's just so hard to like plan to beat that, if that makes sense. And so like just not getting Thoughtseize when they Living End like can like let you beat them after they go off sometimes. Not that often, but more often. Alright, so just attack, pass, draw a card. Stupid Riverwinder with its stupid hexproof. I haven't listened to Mingu and Javier's new podcast. I retweeted their first episode. I'm sure it's great. Both of them are so good. I don't think I'm committing any more to the board than just one Ephemerate here. I'm gonna get a basic though for Ice-Fang purposes. Venser. Oh, I also cited Venser against Living End, but Venser's mostly for Tron and Titan. But it is actually good to bounce Living End. They can't force of negation it. It's actually kind of good. Weird game. Weird game. Shawnee, thank you for the 9 months. Appreciate you. Didn't have too much time left to just do nothing. Shocking and Breeding Pool, end of turn. Here we go. So they're not going to Violent Outburst if they're going to let me draw a card. Pretty big draw. Thanks again, Shiny, for the 9 months. Mingu's Twitter is such a palate cleanser. I could not agree more, dude. Minguchi's Twitter is the best Magic Twitter, easily. So I think I Ephemerate this, so I get to use the Ephemerate. And then if they Living End, I could respond to the Ephemerate trigger with the Ice-Fang, but they're going to take my Time Warp, I think, with this Grief trigger. Yeah, I think I'd still rather them take Coco over Time Warp, so we'll chill. Yeah, he's just out here enjoying the game, enjoying his best life. Just we could all stand to be a little bit more like Minguchi, but we could only hope, you know what I mean? Could only hope. Right on time. Right on time. I think I'm gonna exile the other curator here. Most people have stresses in life. Yeah. I'm sure he does too, you know. Winning game 1 against Living End would be a really big deal since we have so much hate against them post board. They might have force negation because they like pause on the Ephemerate rebound. Yeah, I kind of expected this. They have no cards left in their hand though. So what if we double block Street Wraith, block here, gain 6, take 7. Seems fine. Yeah, the street there's some weirdness going on at the top of the stream. I don't know what's going on. Do get kind of punished with this Violent Outburst, I guess. It's still in pretty reasonable shape though. Not gonna get any Ephemerate value. I already have 2 Ephemerates in the yard, so I don't need to just put one in the yard for future Eternal Witnesses. I do need to draw a Collected Company though. Let's go fetch a Plains though. Lock-kill Wraith over Riverwinder. So this being a 3/4, I thought I was keeping a Solitude after blocks, but they had Violent Outburst to buff it. But I thought I wasn't losing my my creature there. Ooh. feel like if I tap the Hierarch, it's just like obviously I have Ice-Fang. I don't know why, or if that's true. Yeah, in good shape. They did exile my Time Warp though with the Force, so I don't have that in the yard anymore. But even if they Living End again, I have Endurance and a yard full of creatures. Awesome. Yeah, winning game 1 is huge. It is just a really big deal because, like, you kind of expect to lose game 1 in this matchup, and then you have like a ton of really premium sideboard cards. Like 8 sideboard cards, geez. So I usually go down to 1 or 0 Solitude. Usually 0 Deputy. You can give like Ice-Fang for like removal, and just usually not that needed. See, right now this is 26, 25 hits for company, so we need to go up a little bit on that. Or I could just go down to company too. Chipping 1 seems fine. I think you want 2 Time Warps, also 1 Solitude. With Brawl already in hand, why not take Endurance, just bigger? I was thinking I was very likely to chump block the Striped Riverwinder this turn with one of the walls. And like the 3/4 body doesn't like let me beat the Riverwinder effectively in combat this turn, although I guess I could double block next turn. I think if you took the Endurance there, that would be fine. I don't think it's like bad. Let's why isn't Solitude good? It's just like not the game plan you're trying to play. It has its moments, but you don't want to draw very many copies. And again, it's just you have other ways to just beat their creatures. Don't you want wall green? Oh yeah, I do want wall green. That's true. Always forgot. Do you ever stream Standard? I haven't in a very long time. I have when I've been qualified for a pro tour, but now I'm a content creator. I don't know. I think I would, everything's always on the table. If Standard was very interesting at some point, I would be down. But for me personally, Standard just hasn't been that interesting for a long time. I do also definitely have content brain when it comes to tournament prepping and Magic in general. Like, I can definitely feel that I'm a bit more focused on like brewing and finding new interesting decks that aren't the best deck in the format, but just, new and interesting stuff. And that's kind of like the priority over practice, And I used to think it was fine. I just still play other decks proficiently or masterfully, and I still do. But to some extent, I have content brain, I think. Might be a fast one. They're thinking. Mana untapped. Probably a Force, right? These draws with Living In, Double Street Wraith, Bounce, turn, and their draw lined up so perfectly against mine. What can you do? What can you do? I guess company into like Deputy of Detention Ice-Fang next turn. Oh no, I set it out my deputies, so that's harder. Harder. Yeah, I might need to chump with my Hierarch. I don't really know what I'm like drawing into. Maybe I should have got a Snow Basic so I could draw land and then have Death Touch on Ice-Fang, so I get 2 Ice-Fang or something. I don't really know. Looking for another Force. Okay, game 3. Tough stuff. Also, like one of those games I think for on the play, we're in like pretty good shape. I think I like my sideboard playing 2. Why Silence over Flusterstorm? Silence is a bit more flexible, where it can be brought in against Tron and Titan, and you can loop it with Eternal Witness. That's really it. Okay. Yeah. I don't think we need 3 fetch lands. I say living in an amulet have the highest rolls in modern. I mean, Belcher can like theoretically kill you on turn. I think can theoretically kill you on turn 1 with some Pact of Negation. Neoform can. I mean, with Belcher you need like the ritual that you have to sack your Pact of the Titan too. So it's I guess it's more it's got to be Neobrand. Neobrand I think can kill you on turn 1 with 2 Pact of Negations up. In theory. Yeah. Belcher can theoretically turn 1 kill, but you need like your 1 of Pact of the Titan and 1 of Desperate Plunge. So that one's not as common. You're holding Coatl for Endurance. I'm going to run it out here. I'm going to be able to hard cast Endurance next turn, and I have the Ephemerate to like maybe draw 2, and this is also a sideboard matchup where I have tons of sideboard cards too, and so I think I have tons of green cards. I think I'm just supposed to cantrip here. Ice-Fang is also not like much pressure, but it is like some marginal pressure. You know what I mean? Yeah, Silence is also really good against Belcher. That's true. I guess I was thinking in terms of top 10% of draws, not top 1%. I mean, that one becomes like way more, nuanced. You know what I mean? Maybe not. They've been okay. They've been okay. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to Ephemerate my Ice-Fang. If they Violent Outburst here, I've got multiple ways to break it up when they don't have Force of Negation up. And let's me draw 2 for 1 mana. Oh, sorry. I mean, like I can still fetch here if they Violent Outburst. I want them to. Seems like they're not going for it this turn. I wish I had another green card. I could play the Witness. I think I'm going to cast Glasspool Mimic for mana efficiency. Seems fine. Oh, there's also like the very... It doesn't make sense here, but theoretically you can just cast Glasspool Mimic in this matchup and let it die. If you have like a Solitude in your yard. Drake with the 12 months, like, thank you. Sky Turtleback Riverwinder. Not a huge sign of strength. Thank you, Drake, for the 1 year again. I always like to like double extra thank you on put a little more emphasis on the anniversary resubs. I tried to build 4-color Reclamation Black Removal at Red and 6 as only red spell. Do you have any tips? I haven't like really sat down to do it either. I know we've like talked about it on stream a few times. I'm not 100% sure how I build it though. I might work on it at some point. Don't clones just die when entering from Living End? Oh yeah, they do. Never mind. Sorry. Oh, Mimic does. And oh, for Living End, all clones die. Simon, Duck Tech, let's see what you got. Or just a 2-pack. I think I'm just gonna then untap. Deck is underpowered, has been fun to play. Not sure what about the sideboard. The counter spells have felt good. Sub out the back, subtlety is kind of cool. Isn't. We were just talking about this card, but Slither Blade is a 1-mana 1/2 can't be blocked. So like that not dying to Ren and 6 makes it better unless there's some tribal synergy I'm missing. But I don't see any Merfolk or Fairy cards or anything like that. So I think I'm supposed to just hard cast my Solitude end of turn here. Put lethal into play. Fair enough. So we just main phase the Solitude now. Hold on, let me finish this game real quick. We'll do the deck tech. You really not want to play Counterspell in this deck? Like actual factual Counterspell? Maybe you don't. It could also be better to just play like 4 copies of Curiosity and 4 copies of Curious Obsession and not play Sea Dasher Octopus at all. That could be a deck building decision that's correct. Interesting draw. Start with the maybe the side. Oh, I missed that they're in the side. That seems fine. I think that's reasonable. I think just having access to them is good. I like the Tide Shapers. You could consider playing Endurance in the main. Not sure that you should. Just something to think about. Is a new Strictly Better Curiosity? I thought it was only Strictly Better if it's a legendary creature, though, which you don't have any of. You can also... I mean, you kind of curve out at 2. You can maybe play 18 lands. 19's fine, though. It's fine. I think this looks pretty fun. I don't think I've got too many. I think it's, like, built pretty well for what it is, if that makes sense. Okay, new matchup, 3-0. I'm gonna keep this. Thoughts on keeping Deputy of Detention post-board? I don't think you want to keep Deputy post-board against Living End. At the very least, if you do, you're gonna have to tell me what we're like, what other sideboard changes we're making. I think this game we're gonna play Deputy taps. Always feels bad to be on the draw against Ragavan. You have Wall in the hand. Just take the hit, you know. It's so weird that Slitherblade came up twice this stream, though. I don't think we've ever had a stream where we've discussed Slitherblade twice. Although I keep calling it, wait, is it not Slitherblade? I think it is the Merfolk unblockable one too. If I had a nickel for every time we've talked about Slitherblade on the stream, I'd have 2 nickels. Not a lot. Weird it happened twice. Yeah, Slitherblade. Oh, I guess I should have got Forest and played the Wall of Blossoms instead. Not a huge deal. But for Solitude purposes. Fairy Miscreant. Yeah, you could maybe play Fairy Miscreant instead. Just for the spells to sprite synergy. I think they meant to tap this for blue. I'm pretty likely to Deputy my own Hierarch this game, by the way. Because then it comes back to my control, right? Wait, does it come back? Judge, Judge, help. Does it come? It comes back under my control. If I flicker it. Right? I think I want to play a 3-drop this turn. They probably have Counterspell, though. Exalted Hierarch is awesome. What was I flickering it with? I mean, I have lots of flicker cards in the deck, it's not in the hand. I was hoping to draw one of them. Hoping to draw Solitude here. And Endurance doesn't do anything. Okay, dead to red removal spell or counter spell. They probably don't have any of those, though. Definitely feels like one of those play, draw type of games, you know what I mean? I guess if they have red removal spell, I could still draw a Solitude off the Ice-Fang ETB. Yeah. One more look at the 3 outer. Okay, on the play, gonna bring in the Forge-Tenders, 3rd Endurance, 3rd Solitude, cut the Time Warps, cut a Glasspool Mimic, and cut a Deputy, or maybe I should cut a Soulherder. I kind of waffle back and forth. Let's cut a Soulherder. I do think the number of deputies that play in this matchup is kind of the hardest question. Okay, let's keep this. Yeah, Deputy's good against Murktide, but you also have Ice-Fang Solitude for Murktide. It's a pretty fragile creature, but it's also true, like, their removal is pretty taxed against you already. It's interesting. Alright, I think I am going to ephemerate this wall here, try to find land number 3. They could have Spell Pierce if they have Spell Pierce. That's not the end of the world. There's land number 3. And I could go Eternal Witness, Ephemerate, main phase. I could play Soulherder. This is a bit more mana efficient. Gonna get a land back here. I don't know how that's in their hand. I don't know. You tell me. I guess they just have 6. Okay. Don't think it made a ton of sense to play around Spell Pierce there, but if we had suspected it, Soulherder would have been better. Oh, I'm going to trade for this Channeler. Or try to. I'm just so ahead on cards, I don't want to get raced by the Flyers. Yeah, so we'll just go Witness, back a land, cast a Wall of Omens. This land's best against like a burn spell, and developing the mana's nice. Yeah, the HelloFresh code is random letter, although I think Pog might be intentional because this is, you know, a Twitch channel. But I did ask for a code that is like code Spike or something. They said that they would try to change it, and then they failed in their efforts, or didn't try at all. One of the two. A braid, huh? Alright, take your connive and be gone. I don't think I'm supposed to like super aggressively Solitude this, or at least not yet. Maybe I am. Yeah, I can flicker my Eternal Witness. If they Murktide next turn, I can try to flicker my Witness and get back Solitude. I guess I don't want to trade. Magnet 21 months, appreciate you. Yeah, I am going to do a cooking stream next week with Esther. Esther's like, she's been watching a lot of MasterChef, and she's been like around the house just like trying to like more professionally cook, or like as a hobby at least like seriously start cooking. And so she told me that if I ever got an offer from HelloFresh, I should take them up on it, and I did. So we are going to be doing that next week sometime. I think we're trying to do it the day of MTGO maintenance. That would just be so perfect. But obviously, if the box doesn't come, then we can't. They just have nothing. Yeah, Esther's really, really good at cooking. It's been really good around here. I mean, always really good around here, but it's been getting even better. I think Esther's on season 9 right now. Yeah, I remember Yamakilla used to watch the MasterChef. Oh, that brings me back. Would I take an offer from Green Chef or other meal kits? I would only ever take an offer from HelloFresh, because they're the one that's paying me right now. Okay, this Ephemerate resolves, we get to save the Soulherder. Maybe I should have targeted a wall so a red removal spell, like a lightning bolt specifically, doesn't get me. Yeah. Yeah, that was probably better. Damn it. Dang it. I'm going to start the loop again, though. I'm going to block an Ephemerate the Fury, I think. Yeah, we want to get chef's hats. I need to remember to get them before the stream because we're pretty busy, but chef hats for the stream does sound pretty fun. Two cards opponent's hand. I think Yamakiller. I don't think Yamakiller streams anymore. I think he may be like dipping his toes back into Magic again, but as far as I know, streaming is not happening. So it doesn't feel like my opponent has anything. I'm just gonna cast a Collected Company, I guess. Their hand is just literally empty. Your guess is as good as mine. We go to game 3. Maybe just Ragabands. What would be the best way to remind me to get chef's hats? On like Monday stream, maybe say something. I'll keep this hand on the draw against Murktide. Forge-Tender, the opening hand is really nice. Solitude's nice. We have a, you know, land Hierarch, so if Hierarch lives or if we draw a land, this hand's fine. Obviously, Hierarch's like not that likely to live is the problem, but it's also a hard matchup to mulligan super aggressively in. And sometimes your Hierarch just lives. Syntax myself, I'll figure it out. I'm a very responsible man. Yeah, maybe on Twitter would be a good place, huh? Maybe. I'll just go tell Esther. Hold on. I'll just go tell Esther. Hey, remember we need to get chef's hats. Oh, great. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, Esther overheard the chef hat conversation and she has ordered the hats. The hats have been ordered. Well, didn't get my Fury out in time, huh? This is fine. Or my Forge-Tender out in time for Fury. They have 3 cards. Maybe a Solitude the last turn. I kind of want to take a draw step first. We can rebuild. We have the cards. Probably the worst land we could draw at this moment, but not the worst card we could have drawn, I guess. Okay, we'll take the trade. Wasn't sure what the attack meant. I think this is fine. Okay, 2 cards in their hands. No trade offered. Another HelloFresh sound. Scares me every single time. Thank you for every that was. Don't think this is likely to resolve. I hate stupid spell pierce. They only have 2 cards in their hand though. I'm just gonna untap a jam, I think. Sometimes a card just resolves. Huh? Get a wall because they got a Ragavan in play. Cooking stream I think is going to be next Wednesday. Next Wednesday during the Magic Online maintenance that happens. That happens when the new sets come out. So just kind of perfect timing, really. What's the podcast, Fran? Someone said, Fran, that they had you on their podcast recently. I don't know who it was, but we just put a link to it. I'll just let anybody put a link to anything they want. if you're involved. Let's play the Deputy this turn. Did they heat too soon? Well, they would lose Delirium, so otherwise they can't kill the Fury if they don't heat then. So I think it goes fine, timing. One card in their hand. I feel like I need to... Oh, I guess I should have shocked. Sorry, I should have shocked the Fountain before attacking, so I could Solitude if they did have a removal spell for the Deputy. That being said, let's just get these walls out of the hand here. Oh, I guess I would have had a Hierarch too. Yeah, this could be a hard game to lose. What's great also about... they got more Ragavans in their deck they could draw. That could be their last card, is another Ragavan. But they're just so dead with all the walls in play, obviously. I don't know, we could definitely, like... They could draw all relevant spells. I could draw all lands, I guess, still. You never know. Charm is a good start for them. There's no way I ever use a Solitude on a Ragavan here, though. My top decks are also just like better than theirs on average as well. Just really nice in this spot. Oh yeah, I forgot we were eternalizing Ragavans this week. That was fun. It's evil. I guess I don't want to cast Solitude now, because if they have Counterspell, then... If they have Counterspell, then they get to trigger their Shredder. But maybe, I guess I should have cast Ice-Fang now. Yes, let me cast Ice-Fang. I think they are likely to use a Counterspell on this. If they have one. Okay. Guess I was wrong. Or maybe they just drew it off the Connive, maybe not. Alright. What do I think the deck to beat in Pioneer is? I think the Pioneer has like a relatively healthy metagame in the sense there's a lot of like ebb and flow and give and take, and like the deck to beat is mono green, but the metagame is like warped around beating mono green as is, so it's like kind of hard to call that the deck to beat, I guess. Gonna upkeep Solitude because of the Connive. Man, we were so ahead. The old Ragavan chump block. I think that's... no, they would have discarded away Ragavan if they had it. Okay, not another counterspell. Could withdraw another Hierarch, so we should be doing this main phase. 1. Rewarded. 2-turn clock. They did have a bolt, though. Kind of cool to a Murktide here. They have Murktide, I need a top deck. Well, damn it. Like I said, if they draw only relevant spells and I get mana flooded, we could lose, and that was a good example of that happening. That was a good example of that happening, huh? Let's get a 4-1 prediction going. I'm gonna mulligan this. A great example of flooding and putting only drawing relevant spells. Yeah, Connive really... Yeah, Ledger Shredder is a good card, huh? Ooh. Fun one. Not a good matchup to have this really slow hand against, I guess. Worst player here, think of the 9 months. Appreciate you. What happened? Did we lose? Yeah, we lost. I got flooded and my opponent drew only relevant spells. A bad combination for me. The Illuminator deck usually does kill you when they untap with like 1 creature on turn 3, let alone 2. Feeling kind of scared. But maybe we'll live. Maybe they're like creature flooded. The name of Blue Wall, 2 Raptors in the Fog. Wall of Fog? Yeah, what does Wall of Fog do? I think the turn they counted Solitude, you wanted to cast the Solitude on your instep since they had already connive. I cast the Ice-Fang on my instep to try to bait the counter, because I thought if they had a counter spell, they were going to counter the Ice-Fang instead. I feel like that logic still makes sense to me, too. Yeah, dude, Wall of Denial just chump blocks. Just chump blocks. Murktide. Yeah, Fog Bank. Defender flying, prevent all combat damage to be dealt to it, and buy Fog Bank. Dude, Fog Bank should also prevent non-combat damage to it. What decks do I think are the most underplayed at Modern? Probably like Rakdos Scam, to be honest. That deck seems to be great, and just has been underplayed this whole time. Rhinos is really underplayed. Glimpse Combo is really underplayed. Affinity's underplayed. Burn's underplayed. Teamer Sloger. God, I was about to say that next. Like this game's like 3/5 of my opponents. Well, I haven't been seeing it that much, but yeah, it is becoming a lot more popular lately. But maybe that's just like the general correction. I'm gonna main phase another company. Opponent's draw has been so bad. They just don't have any prowess enablers, it seems. What decks are overplayed in Modern? 4-color Omnath. Murktide's always, like, I think pretty overplayed just because it has so few, like, actually good matchups. Although with creativity becoming more popular, that's definitely not as true anymore. But attack? Probably not. Get to attack here. Rakdos versus Grixis Scam. I mean, I think they're like, you know, largely the same deck. I'm not sure that the blue splash in the Grixis Scam is correct, but it felt really good. You know what I mean? Like splashing for Shredder, Iteration, and Drown has felt really good. But there's plenty of, you know, there's plenty of ways to cut the onion. I say Rakdos is more consistent. I don't know that I would say that. Because it's like, I think that cards like Expressive Iteration, Ledger Shredder, Mishra's Bauble, Channeler, definitely feel like cards to me that should be increasing the overall consistency of the deck instead of diminishing it. In fact, I feel like Rakdos has got to be the less consistent deck because it just like, I think the big draw to Rakdos is you can cheese wins with Blood Moons, which I think is, you know, less consistent and, but you know, maybe more powerful, gives you a wider array. But that has been the main like argument for the Rakdos version. Whenever I've been playing the Grixis version, has been people have been saying, I want to cheese wins with Blood Moon. I want to cheese wins with Blood Moon, which is fine, but I'm not sure that that's a good enough reason. Yeah, I think the curve in Grixis is a lot better too, because you just don't have the infinite 3-drops too. Like, I don't like how the Grixis deck or the red-black deck will often go like, you know, turn 1, Grief, Malik Rebirth, and not do anything till turn 3, or sometimes miss their 3rd land drop. Obviously not a huge deal, but I do think the mana curve is marginally better. Okay, so I'm going to cut the Time Warps here. I'm going to go down. I think I'm going to go down to like 2 Soulherders against the Lava Dart deck. And this is 29 hits for a company. I could probably cut a Mimic. I don't think I want Knight of Autumn. Yeah, the gaining 8 is way less relevant against Prowess. Obviously good against Burn, but against them, like my opponent's deck can very easily deal like 35 damage on turn 3. I did consider Coiling Oracle over Walls. Walls block Ragavan a lot better because Murktide plays, you know, Lightning Bolt, and it's actually like stonewalling the Ragavan I think is more important. This hand doesn't have lands in it, so I think I'm gonna mulligan. This hand has lands in it, so I think I'm gonna keep. Split back one of the lands though, probably the Flooded Strand. Is a Knight of Autumn better than Endurance? You like Toughness? Yeah, 3 Toughness, Shuffling in Lava Darts, Flash Blocker are all things that draw me to Endurance over Knight of Autumn. Knight of Autumn also dies to Lava Dart, with which Endurance doesn't. Knight of Autumn will definitely like have its spots in this matchup, but I think I'm okay not playing him. Ancestral Anger. Okay, next turn we've got Ice-Fang Ephemerate. Feeling pretty good about our spot. Well, you don't put walls in your deck to attack, so I'll block. Maybe you do, I don't. I usually like to block with them. Fetching Basics, yeah, we'll be fetching Basics, I think. At least Forest next turn, very likely. Plains with this. Blockers are for math, wow. Very true. Only 3 cards left in my opponent's hand. Feeling pretty good about our spot. I don't think they're playing Light Up the Stage, but they're also not playing my exact Boros Prowess list, because they did say they were a fan, but they're not playing Gigantha. I was playing Gigantha, right? Just trying to deduce what their list is. Yeah, I was playing Gigantha, but I think they're still probably not. Yeah, I was thinking about cutting in this deck the 1-drop. What's the 1-drop called? Nivmagus Elemental for Storm Chaser Drake, but then the problem is the Ground Rift only targets creatures without flying, so you can't just draw your deck with Ground Rift. It's really sad. Thrasta. We haven't seen any green sources, so I can't imagine they're playing Thrasta. They maybe just don't like Gigantha. They maybe, I mean, maybe there's some other card I'm not thinking of. Yeah, they showed us Nivmagus, so they have to be on like Lubomancer, Ground Rift, Virtuoso, Ground Rift, but I don't know what the rest of the deck is looking like. Am I going to the RCQ tomorrow? Yeah, I think I'm playing this, but I might pivot. White mana? I'm gonna Path Exile me? Oh, weird that they wouldn't Lava Dart first. I guess they just want to play around Ephemerate, but I'm okay just like soaking up the damage. This is fine. They only have 2 cards. We're not really getting out-carded here. The good news is here also the Collecting Company always puts 2 creatures into play. It always puts 2. We have 28 hits. We have 28 hits, so we should be fine here. I think I'm gonna grab Ephemerate. I think they should probably Lava Dart my Endurance right now, but Ephemerate will be good after the company turn next turn. Pivot to what? Maybe I'll leave it secret just so I don't tell all my competition at the RCQ tomorrow what I'm thinking about playing instead. But also I don't really know exactly. I got some ideas. I'm probably gonna play this. I have it sleeved up. It's been performing pretty well. I think it's good for like the RCQ metagame too. Witch's Cottage does sound really fun to play though. It does sound so fun to play. In paper. I'm gonna block. I think I'm just. I have so many resources. I'm okay just like trading endurance for flashback lava dart, not taking 5 damage, and I'm okay if they use a card in their hand. I'm okay if they just whatever they do. I'll just trade resources. It's kind of like when you get ahead in your chess game, and as soon as you're just up a couple points, you just trade super aggressively. Don't think I want to. They might have some protection cards in their hand here. I think that those would make a decent amount of sense. So I think I just want to jam Coco instead of hardcasting Solitude. But that hardcasting Solitude would be fine too. Can you just run 4 cottages? Seems so good. I think 3 is the right number, but you could. I don't think playing 4 is terrible. I mean, in this league also, like, we 4-1 this league. I think we got extremely unlucky in our match against Murktide. Record Tracker is a little slow, but this league went really well. I still really believe in the Bant deck. I'm probably going to play this, but I think the Esprit Aether Mage's Touch Reanimator deck is very good. There's just I think there's just too much Murktide locally to play it. But there's also a lot of Hammer Time. There's a lot of Yawgmoth. The Yawgmoth matchup's weird for Reanimator. I'll sleep on it. I'm also going to be making a...